Yep.
Okay. All right, no action was taken back there.
Mr. Chairman, you've got to go out of executive committee and then convene your IDA meeting.
Okay,
Motion to resume into the regular session.
okay. Motion by member Ruda.
Second.
Second by member Leemaster. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. All right, we're back in regular session. No action was taken back there for that meeting. We are looking at the, so we'll start in line with Resolution A for the MRB software and implant studies. Kevin, did you want to, or I'm sorry, David, you were the one that was wanted to speak on that.
Yeah, I thought that it might be a better idea to have Lisa get a computer for the board and operate, and not share the town facilities that she has to. And,
Okay.
We spoke about it, and I think it's just for the benefit of the board, consolidation of information in one spot, quickly available. It's public record anyway. And it'd be easier for everybody on this board. There's going to be a lot more information coming to us that we need to be looking for in the near future here. The board needs to operate in the 21st century. It's not it's not dispersions anywhere else, but I think a better idea would be that we have our own computer system, at least that has it.
Okay, so when you
I'd like to make a motion that we look into purchasing that.
purchasing, okay.
Under the question, are we setting a dollar amount to not exceed?
That's a good question.
What was the question?
A dollar amount, not to exceed a certain amount for a computer.
You should put a dollar amount in there.
Yeah, you want
So,
to
I'm not sure
You want
anybody
to add in
knows
those
the good-
services
great-
too, because you
Right.
might need somebody for IT to.
Yeah, so let's do a little, I'll do a little informational study and I'll find out I'll speak with her and we'll get back to.
Okay, so we'll take that, so then we're going to table that motion then for now.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we're going to table the resolution for MRB software and implant studies, so.
Question on that too. Do we have a means of documenting our assets? Do we keep track? Like if we're going to start having actual assets to Lida?
So,
Be something we can,
there's another thing to incorporate into that system. Would that help you out, Mike? Can you?
Yeah, if we could set up like an inventory of.
I think the connection
Yeah.
would be a really good one for the board.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a comment, please?
Sure.
I checked that $1,000 fee that we originally said it was an annual fee. That's a one-time fee.
Right.
So you only pay it once. And then Dave Manjoya, who's been doing our implant studies through the Amherst IDA, and him and I do them, his charge would still be $250, and he's waiting for an answer on whether or not you still want to do the $250 with him. If not, you would go at your own.
Okay, and this is where you're suggesting we go on our own?
Yeah.
With this? Okay.
You would have to hire you would have to either have someone in place here, or you could go with them and we would have to give him the IDA computer. Because the program, the MRB program apparently is a spreadsheet, and we input it. Or they'll input it, the company will input it. They'll also do the calculations for us.
Okay.
But they do a per hour rate, and I don't know what that rate is, but they do a per hour rate, and I don't know if you can.
So is this something, Paul, that we would, I mean, what are we going to do? We're going to send the computer?
Can we
over to
integrate,
Amherst?
can you integrate?
I'm sorry.
Can you integrate that into your computers?
Yeah, you can, but who's gonna do it is what the
So
question.
then we probably need to stick with.
would-
Paul.
With Amherst,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Mr. Chair, it wouldn't be a bad idea because, let's say you just do 10 projects during the year, okay? It's $250 for each project for the implant study, and he does it, and I don't know how they would connect to your computer, because that's what Clarence is doing.
Right.
Clarence is having their people do it,
Right.
and they're going on their computer in their town and all this other stuff.
Okay, so do you know, do they have a separate computer there that they?
Yes.
Okay, so it'd be this,
Clarence does not.
no?
No, they have to go into the town computer.
Clarence does not have a separate.
So we're
computer.
suggesting a different system then?
We'd still buy the MRB software.
Correct.
Clarence is also gonna buy it, but they are gonna have an employee trained on how to do the studies. They aren't gonna use Amherst to come in and
Okay.
pay $250.
So,
Yeah, their chief financial officer, Kim, is going to be doing the implant studies.
Okay.
That normally
we're still gonna
David Joy
use-
used to do.
right, so we're still going to use Amherst to do this?
That's what you're deciding. 'Cause
Right.
You
I
can
think
either
that makes
hire
sense.
somebody.
We're just going to have our own computer that they hook up to.
You still have to pay the $1,000 fee.
Correct,
It's a one-time fee, that's it.
Right,
Regardless, yeah.
right.
And then it would be 250 for Dave Enjoya,
Dave
and then I
to
bring
do-
him the projects, and then he does the implant study.
Okay,
with
so
him and
we
I.
would just, they would have access to that computer.
That one computer.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
all right, so,
So you would have to take the computer to Dave then?
No, I'm sure that you're going to be able to transfer data without.
yeah, I'm sure they
carrying
could link up to it, I'm sure.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't know that.
I don't know about
You want
that.
to find that out?
Yeah, I'll check that. I'm sure that
Okay,
data is
all right,
transferred.
so
gonna be
we're not going to
really
approve,
easy.
so we still need to approve this resolution today, we just need to come up with a dollar amount?
No, we already approved that we're
Right,
buying
okay,
it.
all right, so,
I'll find that
Yeah,
out.
that's
okay.
Yeah,
So
they're
the-
just deciding
to
if
buy
you
the
want.
separate computer, okay, we'll put that on for the next meeting, okay.
And I will let David know that we're looking at him to buy the computer and so on, so I'll put him on hold.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, the next one, we are going to table the legal appointment for now. The board has decided they want to put out an RFP. So we're going to, I need a motion to put together an RFP for this.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Member Ruda, seconded by Member Tadaro. Lisa for the roll, please.
I've got a little bit of a problem because I've been putting projects on hold because of this situation where between
Right, right.
Strong
Okay.
and Rich Grimm.
Right.
So I've told some of the projects that they would be on our agenda for April, and if this happens, this puts them back another month.
Okay, while we're discussing this, Frank and I had some conversations over the last couple of days that we're going to be, both of us are going to be out of town the first couple of weeks of April, so we need to reschedule.
Actually, I am too.
You're going to be too, okay, so most of us are going to be going out of town, so we're going to put off the April meeting. We're going to have to postpone it till either the 3rd or the 4th Friday in April. And then at least that gives us time, Paul, then we can get that done by our April meeting.
Are you gonna put on an RSVP? Is that what you
An
want to do?
RFP, we're gonna put that, yes, we're gonna put that out. And we need to set a deadline for that, though, so that we can review the RFP before the next meeting. So, I'll be back the 16th, Easter Sunday, or whatever, the 17th, I'll be back. So any time after that, so we can either do the 22nd or
Friday the
29th.
22nd or Friday the 29th?
29th, what's,
I would prefer the 22nd.
Either way is good for me.
22nd? 22nd is good?
22nd is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 22nd, then, we'll go with that,
Same time?
yes.
So we had a motion about the RFP and a second, and this will have to be a separate motion.
Right,
and
yep.
second to schedule the meeting.
So, but we want to set the deadline for the RFP then.
Who's doing the RFP? Who's drafting it?
We'll have to figure that out.
We did draft an RSVP.
Yeah, I think if we look at, we can look at the
Did we do one, Rich,
last
before?
RFP.
Yeah, we did an RSVP about a year ago.
RFP?
But, I'm sorry, whatever,
Sorry, Paul.
whatever it was, so I don't know what you
Yeah.
want to do. It's, my problem is I've got to stall people now.
Right.
I think it's
Okay.
important that we
Pardon
get
me?
Yeah.
everything right, so.
Yeah,
mean,
I think,
we're
right.
gonna
So we just have to
solve-
delay it a little longer, Paul.
Okay?
Okay? That's,
Okay.
we'll have to do that. So, Lisa, can you look into the RFP?
Sure.
See who prepared last time? Sorry, Paul. And then, can you get that to us so that we can, there's got to be
Yeah.
information somewhere so we can put that together then and get it out?
Sure.
Okay, we'll update it.
Okay, so we're doing the RFP, that's a motion, we're doing that.
Yes, so we need a vote on
Okay.
that. We need a, yeah, it was seconded by
Right.
Member
How many-
Tadaro.
how many-
Just-
how many law
Did you take the
firms?
roll on that, Lisa?
How many law firms do you want to send it to?
I don't think we're limited to,
That's,
Right.
this is a question. 'Cause
Yeah.
You should limit it to a certain point, because you're going to have to interview.
And we're ready to do it.
Yes, we are. Yeah, we'll interview whoever answers it.
right? Last time I spoke to Rich, he said there was only 3 that responded, so I don't anticipate we're going to get dozens. So I don't think it'd be outside of the realm of this board or the.
We'll still
this board
interview
to
'em.
Interview.
We'll interview.
Whatever, whether we get 3, 4, or 5. Okay. Do we need did you take a roll on that?
No,
Lisa?
I didn't, because
Okay.
then we jumped to the,
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Take the roll on that then.
okay. Member Gitzoni?
Yes.
Member Lee Master?
Yes.
Member McNichol?
Yes.
Member Reno?
Yes.
Member Ruda?
Yes.
Chair Fadoli?
Yes. Okay.
So, you know, I'm the
sorry,
salesman.
Member
you're not.
Tadaro?
You're telling me we do not have,
I'm a yes.
Now,
we
right.
do not have a legal counsel today.
Correct. Right. Okay, so, all right, that's it. Then so let's move on to the next resolution. then.
Do we want to make the resolution to schedule that meeting?
Yes,
Yes.
go ahead.
So I will make a motion to cancel the April 8th meeting and reschedule it for Friday, April 22nd at 3:30 PM.
Second.
Okay, a motion made by Member Ruda, second by Member Gazzoni.
Okay.
Lisa?
Member Gazzoni?
Yes.
Member Lee Master?
Yes.
Member Nichols?
Yes.
Member Reno?
Yes.
Member Ruda?
Yes.
Member Tadaro?
Oh, yes.
Chair Fadoli?
Yes, okay. All right. Now, Member Ruda did voice some concerns about the projects that we're approving today without legal counsel. So which one, do you want to table all those?
Can we,
You can't table my sales tax exemptions because they're expiring now.
Well, that's the one, there's one.
There's
that-
three.
There's three.
There's
Advanced
three
thermal,
expiring.
Salvatore's. and
Right, but we had an issue with some of them, Paul, that are expired already. Okay, the Salvatore's one is expired, and I think we need,
That expired in January. And
Right.
the reason for the delay was, number one, was because of the virus and everything else that was going on.
Right.
That's the reason for the delay in that one.
Right.
The other two was ABC, the Bassett one just retired.
right,
And then the other one just on March 12th or something. So the other two,
Right.
the only one that was late is the Salvatore one.
okay.
The other
So-
two are right now.
Okay, so we need to go back and have them reapply.
Well,
Right.
I'm looking at Salvatore's. The initial, original contract, from what I saw on our website, was July 30th of 2019. The next resolution was August 10th of 2021. I don't know what they did for the year of 2020.
And then it went to January.
Then there was no, but they were already past their 1 year on what the contract states.
Well, then if you don't want to do it, you got to tell them.
Right.
That's-
So we're gonna have to, Paul, we're gonna have to have them reapply
We can apply for what?
for the sales tax exemption. Because if it's expired, we don't have the authority to just say, okay,
Well, yes,
do
we
it.
do. Don't we?
He
Oh,
can't.
no,
Right?
you can't.
Yeah, you can't, right, yeah. You can't,
Yeah,
right.
we-
This is where
You as a
the,
board have, I bring you the request, the letter is here.
Right.
I bring you the request for a 6-month extension for all three projects.
right,
You have the authority to approve that today.
I'm looking at it, the resolution died as of July 30th of 2020 because they did not turn around and ask for an extension, but either at or before that time.
okay.
So I guess we might as well just let everything sit until we get an attorney and let them look at it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to table it.
All three?
Okay, yes. Well, no, not the one, there's one that's not expired yet.
Well,
Right.
and they're-
Right.
The dog place and the advanced technology have not expired.
Not expired, okay, so we can approve those two.
Right. So
Okay.
what do you want from Salvatore's, is what I'm asking.
Well, what's the procedure, Paul? They have to reapply?
Procedure is, we, based on the letter that they said, because of the virus and the cost of materials and everything going up and everything, sure, there was a delay, there's no question about it.
Right.
Okay, but because of the virus and everything, they never really got back to us. That's their excuse.
Right, okay. So, but we don't have the legal authority to do, if it expired, so can we just
We
go
do
back
it.
and ask them to
We do-
reapply?
We do have the legal authority to extend it again, but we can do it from January just for 6 months.
I don't think amending the rules is a good idea.
Right,
No,
yeah,
that's-
right.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, right, we're not gonna do it, Paul, okay?
Okay,
we're gonna- right.
no,
Okay.
I will tell Mark that we
Yeah,
can't do it.
right, okay,
And what do you want to do, though? What's the next step then for Salvatore's?
to reapply.
To reapply? for-
Because they gotta start the process over, because their sales tax, their exemption expired.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're asking for them to do is if they want the exemption for the next 6 months, that they're gonna have to reapply for it.
But they are
They're gonna
reapplying.
start it all over again.
They're gonna just start the right.
Basically, we're gonna close that out. It's done as far, like I said, we'll get an attorney, but as far as I'm looking at it, it's done. It should have never even been brought up.
We do it all the time.
And that might be why we got very
Yeah, I think
deficiency in
that's
the
right.
reports.
I think, right, Paul, I think that's where we're getting ourselves in trouble, and we don't want to keep going down that path. Okay? So the only one that's not expired is which one? The dog?
Is the ABC Bassett Rescue, okay? And then the other one is expiring, is the advanced technology.
Is not.
I mean, advanced thermal? Is that the one, advanced thermal?
Advanced technology. yes.
Okay.
Right, okay. So
Now,
those two
that
we
one-
can
no,
approve?
Well, that one, there's another one, March of 12 of
Well, today's
2019.
March the 11th,
March of 12 of 2019 is when they applied.
right?
The next date of any paperwork that I found was March 12th of 2022. And now
Right.
they want to extend it to September. What happened to 2020, 2021? They never applied to the town, to this body, to extend their 1 year over and above what the
Yes, they
contract
did.
stated.
They did apply. I approved them.
There's nothing
No
on the
record
website.
of it.
The paperwork's not there.
Right.
Well, then, I don't know what you're doing. I'm lost now.
Well, I think, Paul, what we're
Because
saying,
I approved these, okay, based on my knowledge of what was happening, okay? The virus, the cost of lumber, they couldn't get this, they couldn't get that. The letter is here stating it, what, all right? Currently, due to all the crazy delays that we've been up against related to COVID and are still not finished with our entire project as planned, and we will need more time to bring to completion.
Okay.
Having said that, could you please ask for another extension for six? That's all I require them to do.
All right, but what I'm saying, Paul, they signed a contract on March 12th of 2019.
I know that, I know all of that.
They state, in that contract, they get 1 year to either do the project or come back in front of here and ask for
And
extension.
they did that.
They did not. I don't have paperwork anywhere in file for 2020 or 2021.
Well, if you look at the ST60, you can see where I changed the dates.
All I've got is what.
You don't have a copy of the
what the board-
ST60.
Well, what the board gives us, that's all I can go by.
where is that document, Paul?
I've got it probably in the file at home,
Okay. So,
or we might have it here.
all right, so look, we're gonna have to put it off till
I
the.
can only go by the
Right.
information I
Yeah,
got in front of me.
right. Right, so we gotta put this off till the April meeting. That's
You want to
all.
put off all three then?
Yes, let's do that, just so we don't get
And
ourselves.
what do you want me to bring back to you then?
Whatever fills in the gap to where they came in front, got a resolution.
Right, Paul,
between.
you said you
I
have
can't hear you.
paperwork?
I can't, you're both talking, I can't.
Okay, you said, go ahead, Kevin.
I need where the resolution was for 2020 and 2021, stating that they got another extension.
That'll, I just give you a copy of an ST60, which shows
Right,
that I initialed
right.
and changed the date. That's all you'll see.
So, okay, so can you give that to us?
Sure.
Okay, the problem we have with that,
That's
once
not really
again,
the process.
nobody was here, nobody voted on it. You're just accepting a piece of paper where somebody changed the date.
No,
I'm not knocking
you're
you,
accepting my word. You're accepting my word that I approved this project. Just because you weren't here, the other board approved it.
Paul,
But there's no
Yes,
paperwork.
Lynn.
when you would put that date on, would it be like within the month of the meeting? Would we be able to know from the date that it's set, to be able to go back to the minutes and find when it was, I mean, so that would be probably for Lisa to do.
Let me explain
for our
something.
next packet.
Originally, the old board, if you would,
Yeah.
allowed me to do the 6-month extension without even coming to this board. They
Oh,
allowed
wow.
me to do that.
Okay.
Then when Jennifer became the legal counsel, she wanted me to do what we're doing right now.
Correct.
Okay?
Right.
So we did bring those to them. In fact, you were the attorney, I think, for Advanced Technology at that time. So he was aware of it legally, okay?
Right.
I don't know what you're looking for from me.
So-
You want a copy of the
I'm not
ST60?
looking- no.
And you're saying to me, I'll show you the copy of the ST60 where I approved it.
Right, that's what we need.
We need.
So I can,
Right.
Go
I
ahead.
can
Need at
say
least a
from
paper
my
trail of it.
perspective, it's a learning curve, definitely, and trying to understand what's listed in the agenda and then what's in our board packet isn't enough of the history, and it's a lot of trying to like hunt and peck within the website to try and find it. So I think for, at least for now, until this board gets caught up on the current projects, it would be helpful to get anything that an extension was granted to get that.
We're doing it now. You're doing it today.
No, we're talking about last year's extensions, the stuff that you said. you
Previous,
had
right, to get some of the
Well,
history,
that was a different board.
but there's.
Right, but it's a paper
But
trail
what
we
Kevin's
need.
looking for is the
I
record
understand.
of it.
Right.
So
That's all.
we're
We just
looking
need
to
that
just
record.
create complete records of all of our projects, so we
I mean,
understand it. how the tax
you're
works.
looking at the dot here. We hope to have this done in November, but they were having problems getting construction materials. What do I tell them? No? Because you couldn't get construction materials?
No, we tell them no.
Huh?
I would
Well,
expect that.
I understand that, I said, but before, I was allowed to do that for the first 6 months. Now I'm bringing it to the board, and you guys are saying no.
Well, only,
Okay,
no.
I'm not saying no.
Right, no, we're not saying no,
I'm just
Paul.
telling you.
We're saying that you said you had paperwork that showed you granted them previous extensions, right?
ST60s, mhm.
Correct, right. We need those paperwork. Then we can move forward. That's all.
It's not a question of you, Paul, it's a
Right.
question, we don't have enough records.
Right, we don't have any record of that gap, right? So that gap puts us in a position where we don't know if we're violating the law by approving this today, that's all.
Cindy?
So,
My guess is there are resolutions that will fill in that gap.
Right.
You're fine. So
Right.
I table it for now and
Right.
go find the resolutions and.
That's
fill in.
exactly what.
I know, but somebody's in the, Cindy, can you make the ST60s available to this board for those 3 projects?
They are all in the project folders currently. Any ST60s that were done last year or in 2020 would be in the related folder. Those 3 projects that you're talking about, if you go back to your February minutes, there is a note in there from Jennifer Straub. They were RIM projects at that time, Salvatore, Advanced Technologies in Walker, and that will give you some information also.
thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Just to let you know, Mr. Chair, the Advanced Technology, his email came to me on February the 2nd requesting the extension.
Okay,
Well-
and
So he was ahead of the,
he's ahead of the curve, right, so that one's okay.
That's
So do you wanna
advanced
approve that one
thermal.
today?
Hold on,
Yeah.
advanced
Advanced
thermal.
thermal,
pardon me?
advanced thermal,
Yeah.
So the minutes from the February meeting state that Paul Leone was contacted by Advanced Thermal on February 1st requesting another 6-month extension. Paul is reluctant to approve it as it has been ongoing since 2019. If extension is approved, there will need to be an additional fee imposed. So we talked about this project last month and you had reservations about it.
She's saying at the last meeting you had reservations. She's saying you had reservations at the last meeting.
I did, but I went out to the company, and they explained to me what happened.
Okay.
okay.
And that's the reason why you see this before you today, because I did what I said I was gonna do.
Okay, so you had reservations at the last meeting, and then you went out and spoke with them.
I
and
spoke
now
with
you're
Dave
comfortable-
Baumer, and that's-
Right.
and that's why
they're
this
not
February-
expired, correct, Kevin? They're not expired?
Which one's that?
Advanced thermal?
I'm out of it. Yeah, I'm saying there's a gap in there. I can't fill in the gap where they
Okay,
came in
all
and
right.
asked for an
All right,
extension.
let's stop
That's
going
all
around
I
in
know.
circles here
Dig
with
into
this.
those project files.
Right, we're gonna table it.
Those
until
are
we
in
get-
my office.
Right,
Any files that they gave me are
Yeah.
in my office. And any of you are welcome to come in and ask for them.
right,
I
okay.
have
We
not
need
moved
to table all
anything.
these until we get it figured out, because we need to make sure we move forward
Sure.
correctly, all right? We don't
So
wanna
we're
keep
gonna
making mistakes.
table all 3.
Yes, we don't want to keep making mistakes and digging the hole deeper. We want to just get this cleared up and get it right. So,
But the only question I have now, what about the Salvatore one, which is going all the way back to January? What do you want to do with that one?
Table.
table that one as well.
No, but I'm saying, what do you want them to do to request the 6-month extension?
No, they want to table it to talk about it.
Right,
To talk
yes,
about what
we're
they
going
want
to
to
table that
do.
too.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So
Okay,
we're
you
gonna
want to do
table-
a motion?
Motion to table the, do we have to do them one at a time? Or do
No.
we Table
No,
all
all
of
of
them?
them.
Table
Okay.
all 3.
I need a motion to table
3 or 4?
3.
3.
3.
You could table all 3, Mr. Chairman.
Right, okay, so I need a motion to table. Anybody want to make a motion to table?
I'll motion table.
Motion to table by member Lee Master.
second that.
Second by member Tadaro. Can we have the roll, please, Lisa?
Yep. Member Gitzani?
Yes.
Member Lee Master?
Yes.
Member McNichol?
Yes.
Member Reno?
Yes.
Member Ruda?
Yes.
Member Tadaro?
Yes.
Chair Fadoli?
Yes.
So just to let you know, Mr. Chairman, the village project, Tom Sweeney's project, is coming due very shortly too. What do you want to do for that sales? He's going to ask for an extension on that one too.
Is he
That's another
within-
one.
Right, but he's got all his extensions in line.
We have to pull the ST60s just to be
Okay,
sure.
right, but if, as long as they're not expired, then we can approve that at next meeting.
Yeah. These 2 are not expired though. Advanced Technology and the dogwoods are not expired.
But we don't have a record of them as of right now. You're saying you have the record of them, Paul. We need to get those records before we can make a decision, that's all. That's what we need. Okay? All right, let's move on then. We need to appoint Assistant Secretary.
I know that under Jennifer Strong, she had recommended it being the attorney.
Right.
Because they're signing off, so I don't know if that's something
Okay,
that,
so we should probably table that as well then, until we get the RFP back, until we choose an attorney. So I need a motion to table that resolution.
Make a motion to table.
Motion by Member Reno,
Second.
second by Member Lee Master. Lisa, the roll, please.
Member Gazzoni?
Yes.
Member Lee Master?
Yes.
Member McNichol?
yes.
Member Reno?
Yes.
Member Ruda?
Yes.
Member Tadaro?
Yes.
Chair Fadoli?
Yes. Okay, I also need a motion to approve the adopted UTEP agreement.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Member Ruda, second by Member Reno. Lisa, the roll, please.
Member Gazzoni?
Yes.
Member Lee Master?
Yes.
Member McNichol?
Yes.
Member Reno?
Yes.
Member Ruda?
Yes.
Member Tadaro?
Yes.
Chair Fadoli?
Yes.
To the best of my knowledge, the only one that hasn't approved the UTEP, and that we had a meeting this morning, is the Clarence IDA.
Okay,
And they're going to discuss it at their March 17th board meeting.
okay. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Now, we need to, this authorize the reimbursement to the town of Lancaster. We did have an agreement in place before. Is that what you're saying? Right, and it has not been renewed? Okay, does this resolution renew that same agreement?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so we need to get that in place so we can reimburse the town. Okay, I need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Moved by Member McNichol, second by Member Tadaro. Lisa, the roll, please.
Member Gazzoni?
Yes.
Member Lee Master?
Yes.
Member McNichol?
Yes.
Member Reno?
Yes.
Member Ruda?
Yes.
Member Tadaro?
Yes.
Chair Fadoli?
Yes. Okay, that's all for the agenda, the unfinished business.
What about
about
571? Terrace?
Oh, 571 Terrace?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see that. I thought that was part of what, extension.
You want to talk about new business, Mr. Chair?
Hold on one second, Paul, we're just gonna,
Resolution now.
All right.
we gotta pass the resolution, let me see, which one is this? 571 Terrace. Can't find it in here. Which one is it? I can't. This is for the pilot provisions. Okay, so we just need approval on this one. Okay, I need a motion to approve 571 Terrace.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Member Reno. Second by Member Lee Master. And Lisa, the roll, please.
Member Gazzoni?
Yes.
Member Lee Master?
Yes.
Member McNichol?
Yes.
Member Reno?
Yes.
Member Ruda?
Yes.
Member Tadaro?
Yes.
Chair Fadoli?
Yes. Okay, we tabled those other resolutions. Okay, now new business, Paul.
Okay, I mentioned these other new businesses, we don't, we're just preparing them now, I'm gonna have to put all these projects on hold. On the corner of Broadway and Bowen, we have the application here in front of us, but I'm gonna put that on hold. The attorney gave me the application, which I was gonna announce it today, but it's about it's almost a $3.5 million project. That's on the corner of Broadway and Bowen. I have that application. We also are talking to DKM Sales again for a 40,000 square foot building on Commerce Parkway. We're also talking to Gunther Burkhardt for his 80 acres on that piece of property. And then we're also talking with a Canadian company who took over that auto place business where the Audi used to be at one time. So we're talking with that Canadian company. So there's about 4 or 5 different projects that are talking about right now that I'm gonna have to put on hold.
Okay. All right. We'll get them on for the next meeting. Okay?
Well, I don't know. It depends on what this board's gonna do. Because I can't keep putting them off.
Right, I know, Paul, we unfortunately.
I know what you're saying, to me,
unfortunately, the
and I'm
circumstances
agreeing
are-
with you.
right.
I'm not arguing with you,
No, I
I'm just
know.
saying, I'm
Right.
gonna have to
Right, the
put a
circumstances are
sales
such
pitch
that,
into them
right.
and say, hey, I can't do it in April.
Right, and just, right, so just, like I said. Paul,
Robert
just
James
put 'em on
Sales
hold,
is
talk
biting
to
at the
them.
bit right now.
Right, so just let them know that we, like I said, we had to iron out some legal issues first, and then once we get it going, we'll
I have no problem
push
doing
those
that.
projects through, okay?
I just want to let you know that I'm gonna have to stall.
Okay, thank you. Proposed legislation, do you want to talk about that?
I can talk about that.
Just,
When is this?
I could probably almost read this verbatim. They basically trying to get rid of the IDAs.
Oh,
So-
one other thing, Paul did get the letter from the former chair about the Derrick Corporation.
Yes.
To give
Yes,
them
we
the
did get the letter
percentage?
stating the fee reduction.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
We
I
did
saw
get that. He did
Yeah.
agree to that.
Right, yeah,
Yeah,
that's okay. As long
so-
as we got that in writing so that we're covered.
Yeah.
That was our concern.
Do we need to receive and file it?
Yeah, probably.
What? I didn't hear it.
Communications, it's got to
Yeah.
be received and filed in communications.
So that would
Go
be
ahead.
included in the next meeting's
Yeah.
packet?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as the legislation goes, my understanding of it, and I spoke with Jen Strong, she said this would prohibit the IDA from giving any abatements on school taxes. An IDA could only abate county and village taxes. So that's the legislation that,
I've talked to the other IDAs. It looks like that will be dead.
Right. It comes up all
There's
the
another
time.
one out there where they want to do one IDA for the different areas.
Yeah,
And that's by
right.
Mr. Scolas or whatever his name is, and you would have 15 representatives, and based on your population, in other words, like Niagara County would only, of the 15 new board members, 3 would be from there, and from Erie County it would probably be 6.
Right.
So it would eliminate the IDAs.
Right, that's the
It
second.
doesn't look like that's going forward.
Right, they've been trying this for years, since I was here, and before I was here, years ago. They've been trying every year or two,
Everybody comes at the IDA.
what they're trying to do is they're trying to basically control the IDAs through the states and counties.
Right.
Essentially. So they're constantly putting up legislation. Again, they've never passed in the past, so I guess we just gotta hope that they don't, get this passed eventually, because it certainly would end our role and control of development in our town. So, I would encourage people to call their representatives, call their state senators and assembly members, and let them know and voice your opinions on that, because it's important that they know that, we would like to keep control here in Lancaster for all the towns would like to keep their control. So, okay, thanks, Paul, and thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, we have, just so that you know, we have monthly meetings, all the IDAs, including Cattaraugus and so on, in Wyoming County and so on and so forth, and we discuss all these things, and that's where I'm getting my information
Right.
from, is because they're tied into Albany.
I think I asked this question before, and excuse me if I did and I forgot the answer. We used to pay a lobbying firm a small amount. I know it was Carl Calabrese. I know he's retired. Do we still do that?
No, now what we do is, do we still pay that $850 to that other, the company down in Albany,
No.
which all the other IDAs belong to?
Right.
That's the good one?
Right.
And it's a lot cheaper?
Okay.
It's only $850 a year?
I think it's something that we should look into.
Okay.
Just, I think because Carl did a really good job. I know Carl Calabrese.
Didn't we
when he
join
was
that
here.
one, Cindy? We do have that already, right?
It was a one-year membership.
We're
And
already
who was
members
it-
now, Mr.
Who
Jar.
was it with?
no, she said it was a one-year membership. We're not a member now.
No, we're not a member. We gotta
Oh, because we didn't
renew
pay
it. Right.
What was the name of the organization? It's New York State something. But
Okay.
they keep up to date with all the lobbying
Okay.
and everything else, and we get monthly letters from them.
Okay. Lisa, can you look into that and see who it was, and then see if we
I'll
can
get her all the
Get
information.
her in the information,
Okay,
Paul, so
thanks.
we can, and then forward it to us, so we can.
Thank you.
Move on that, take some further action on that, or at least, it's a small price to pay to make sure that we, keep our board in place. Other than that, that's about it. Anybody else have anything?
I have.
Oh, you know what?
Payments
Okay.
that I have to sign off on. Does anybody have
No,
any?
that's the executive.
That's-
You're good.
You're good, you
I'm
just
good,
signed,
right?
right?
Okay.
Paul, you want to discuss this letter from the Village of Depew?
I want you to do it. I read it
Okay.
to you. You
All
can
right.
just read it to them.
Okay.
And Mr. Gennaro I met with Kevin Peterson, is that his name?
Yeah,
And then
Mayor.
we talked about that, and we also talked to Steve Hoffman, a former member.
Yeah.
Because we had done some things. This is a type of thing that, you can read it if you want.
Okay,
And
all right,
I'll shut
I'll
up.
read it out loud. I'm writing to you in the village IDA to inquire that there is financial assistance that you can lend to help fund, promote, and improve the Village of Depew Summer Concert Series. As you might be aware, I have been organizing the concert series since 2016, by soliciting sponsorships from the area businesses and individuals. These funds are used to help pay the cost of the band's produce an annual sponsor banner and, excuse me, thank you certificate found in the limited advertising campaign. The number of concerts that we can fund every year is dependent on the success and the ability of to sign up enough sponsors. I started with 3 concerts, and then 2 hours of free entertainment Thursday evenings at Veterans Park on Terrace in Depew. We've also added various trucks, food trucks, and the Depew Fire Department has been a gold sponsor every season. I'd like to ask that the possibility to secure $10,000 that would allow me to possibly schedule additional concert dates and advertise the event more, so that more area residents would know. I would still solicit area sponsors, as this enhances the idea of the concert's a truly community event each summer. Typically, I'm able to collect between $5,000 and $7,000. The additional $10,000 would give the concert series a bit of cushion to sustain the event. There will be a time when there will no longer be around to fundraise the event, and this will help the village continue a very popular program. We typically draw crowds between 400 and 1,000 people to weekly shows. Sincerely, thank you in advance, Kevin Peterson, the mayor of the village of Depew. This is something that we've done before.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what I did is I took into consideration Grant's comments about the village of Lancaster, the village of Depew, and so on and so forth. And what we have to do, and I can't ask legally, but what you do is you put a little sign up there that says sponsored by the LIDA or something like that.
Right.
But I asked him to say 10,000, but I said, I doubt very much you'd get 10. I told him you more like 5 or 6.
Okay.
But he put 10 based on the request. I said, put the high amount, you can always come
Sure,
down.
right, okay.
You might want to table that to
Yeah.
advice of council.
Right.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, right. In the past, like I said, in the past, we've done it, but we just need to make sure that we can do something like this.
Did
that
you hear
falls
what,
within-
did you hear what
yeah.
Rich said, though?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Thanks, Paul.
I'm sorry.
I don't have a hearing problem.
I don't know what else to tell you because I'm getting negatives all the time, so I don't know.
I'm just kidding, Paul. Okay, so we'll table this till the next meeting?
Sure.
Okay. All
But,
right.
but that's a nice thing to do, like Grant was saying. This is helping out the different villages.
Yes, and I'm okay with that. We just need to make sure that it's
I know
something
you
we
are.
can do
I know.
with the money
I
that we
mentioned it to you
have.
before, and I don't have any problem with it.
Okay, all right.
But I can't do it myself.
No, all right, okay. All right, does anybody else have anything else to add?
I think I definitely would like to schedule a governance committee meeting after going through the training. There's some things that we need to do to be in compliance, and so I don't know if we want to pick up our calendars and, well, we don't need to do that because it's not a quorum, correct? So we don't need an approval.
Right, who's on the governance committee with
So
you?
it's Frank, you, and I.
Myself.
So if we could, after the meeting, schedule
Yeah,
that.
okay, sure.
And I would also think that it would be worthwhile to schedule a work session for Lida so that we can get up to date on current projects, ask questions outside of the meeting so we're not holding up applications. Obviously, the board has a bunch to learn, but I think that there's a lot that could be done. We have to come up with and approve a mission statement, and I think starting there would help give this board direction as we're looking at projects. So I don't know if we would be open to the idea of trying to find a work session time outside of our regularly scheduled meeting. I know how hard it is to find a time where we're all available, but
Yeah, I don't know, Fridays are the only day that's really
I know.
good for me.
Like a
that
pre-meeting,
afternoon.
how about,
Or
or you brought up like a pre-meeting before.
Well,
Right.
we've already, we've dragged these meetings out a
Yeah.
couple times getting here. How about we put our start time
Yeah,
back a little
why don't,
bit?
we can do work sessions before.
Get our
just
work
like we can do
session
with the town
started at
board,
3:30, it's still accommodating.
and then make the meeting start at 4. We can set the.
I'm open to
Yeah.
any idea. I just
Yeah.
think
Well,
we
that-
need
Because that's
more
what we,
time.
that's what we always did with the town
You know,
board,
you
it's just
only have
easier
to
that
go out
way,
of your way
then people
to
don't have to
be here.
schedule separate
The
days.
earliest I could be here is probably 3,
Well, we can.
Yeah, we can even back the meeting up to 4 o'clock.
which would be fine.
Right.
I'm fine with
And then-
any
and then just
any
do work
ideas
session
that we
before-
have, but it
Do
would
work
be.
session before the meeting,
So do we want to
want to do it at the next
move the
meeting?
Yes.
April 20?
Yeah,
So
that's
we're going
fine.
to schedule a work session for 3 o'clock PM and move the start of the meeting time that we just scheduled to 4
PM.
o'clock.
Yeah, so we're gonna just change, so
So I'll make
while
that
we're doing,
motion.
while we're changing the meeting.
So you have to do a motion, you're changing
Yeah.
the start
I'm
time for the
making
meeting.
that motion.
Yep, okay.
Okay.
So I need a motion to change the meeting time for the April meeting,
Just April or all of them?
all of them, then going forward, yes,
When are you gonna change it to, Deanna?
to 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
So then we're gonna, then we'll have a work session beforehand, and we'll meet here at 3. Let me put it in my calendar.
That'll be on the 3rd Friday of the month?
Yes, same, we're just, well, we're doing,
Just-
just next month,
Right.
we're moving.
To the
meeting to
22nd.
the 22nd, because there's, half the board's gonna be gone. So
Okay, so Member Ruda made the motion. Anybody
Can I get
second
a
it?
second?
Second.
Second by Member Tadaro?
Okay. Member Gazzoni?
Yes.
Member Lee Master?
Yes.
Member McNichol?
Yes.
Member Reno?
Yes.
Member Ruda?
Yes.
Member Tadaro?
Yes.
Chair Fadoli.
Yes. Okay,
So it's 4 o'clock start time?
yep, work session is 3.
Yeah, work session will be at
Okay.
3.
Is that AM or PM?
A couple of us.
Listen, I could be here at 3 AM if you'd like.
No, you would.
Right, I get up at 2:45, so I can be here.
I know you, that's why I
You're
said it
not-
to you.
So,
Okay, then to make it official, the phone number for the IDA has officially changed as of February.
What is it?
It's now 901-7875.
901?
Yes, it doesn't have to
What was
change,
the last four?
7875. So it won't have to be changed if any member staffing changes go forward. It'll remain there.
anybody else have anything, is there anybody, Cindy would like to speak?
Thank you so very much. Good afternoon. My name is Cindy Maciejewski. I am the former secretary to the IDA in 2020 and 2021, former billing staff in 2021. I want to thank the board for amending the February 11, 22 minutes from the draft minutes that have been posted on the IDA website. However, there is a statement on page 4 of the revised February 11th minutes that I would ask to be stricken, starting with previous CFO and billing staff abruptly resigning, up to and including LIDA materials and documents. I'd just like to remind everyone that my term ended December 31st, 2021, and I, billing staff, did not resign, and please acknowledge that I did turn over IDA materials and documents. At 1 hour and 30 minutes into the recording of the February 11th IDA meeting, Mrs. Braun stated they wouldn't even respond to emails. I have copies of emails that started on January 5th to Lisa. On January 5th, I emailed Lisa the following. Hi Lisa, Tom, meaning Thomas E. Fowler Jr., Town Attorney, asked me to forward Lida documents to you. Attached is the information for GS Grid project for the January agenda. Also attached were Word documents. Documents for the agenda, draft minutes, county and IDA project notifications, IDA calendar. My labels won't be of help to you due to the membership changes, but I will inter-office you the labels for the IDA attorney, consultant, and auditors. I also forwarded the labels for new agencies and agencies included in the public hearing notifications. I ended it with, if you have any questions, just let me know. Emails continued between Lisa and I, which included information regarding the website, how to be granted access to it. Letterhead and envelope for the IDA was given to Lisa, and she was told that both did need the IDA letterhead and envelopes needed to be reordered. Strange thing about the letterhead and envelopes is that Chair Fadoli signed a letter delivered to me on the letterhead and in an envelope, but yet this same letter dated January 24th requested the letterhead and envelopes. To this I have to ask, did you not know that I was emailing documents to Lisa? And also, did you not realize that the items that were being requested were already being turned over?
I
And-
did not. I was not informed of that.
I appreciate that, thank you. On
If I
January,
may, I never said that I didn't get the secretarial stuff. That's all the secretarial files. You gave me nothing for billing, because you said you didn't do the billing.
I can get to that. On January 28th, Chair Fadoli, you were in the town hall. I have to wonder also why. You did not simply walk into the supervisor's office and say, Cindy, can we talk about the items that are needed? Also, to even hand deliver me that letter and then talk to me. Emails between Lisa and I continued. They included answers regarding where to find the agency policies, bylaws, grievances, discussion on oath cards, the measurement report, resolution setting the IDA fees. However, when it came to the pilot invoice Word document, I did not have that document and therefore was not able to provide that, but did respond to your request. After receiving the letter on the 28th from Chair Fedoli, Pam and I did fill 2 boxes of files that were projects that needed to be closed due to the pilots expiring that were left by the Recreation Department and 2 flash drives. Our response letter to Chair Fedoli was also included. Even during the February 11th meeting, as angry as I was watching and listening to the comments regarding my lack of cooperation, I emailed Jennifer Strong and Lisa Braun to tell them that the resolutions that set the salaries for positions such as CFO, secretary, consultant, and pilot billing are in the minutes of the reorg meeting and on the IDA website for 2020 and 21. The search for the financial documents was senseless, since the reports were already in a box on a flash drive and already turned in. I appreciate you letting me to speak here today, and I'm hopefully that this clears up some of the discrepancies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Pamela Cuviello, the former CFO of the IDA and the finance director for the town of Lancaster. I just want you to know up front, I'm not comfortable as a public speaker, so please forgive me if I stumble. I'm here to clear up some misstatements that have been made about me and attacking my work ethic and character. On January 28th, I received a letter on IDA letterhead and in an IDA envelope that was demanding that we turn over all IDA documents that were in my possession. I received this letter at 4 p.m. On January 20th, I sent the spreadsheet to Lisa in an email for the pilots to be billed for 2022. I had all the information necessary, i.e. assessments, percentage of owners that owed, what percentage they had to pay, and everything was updated on the spreadsheet. All she had to do, and I told her all she had to do, was combine the 2 into a merge file and print the documents. Everything was all set. That was on January 20th. Mind you, you send me a letter on January 28th demanding information saying we hadn't turned anything over. And on January 20th, everything we had was already turned over. Okay? On February 1st, Cindy and I gave our response to your letter, Chairman Fedoli, to Mrs. Braun as she was out of the office on Monday on January 31st. Chairman Fedoli, did you get the response letter?
I may have gotten it, but I don't remember.
So when you made those comments on February 11th at the meeting, you don't know whether you did or didn't have our response that said that we had turned everything over.
Right, but I was told that the stuff that was turned over was unusable. We tried, again, this is what I was told,
Okay.
right? I was told that the town of Clarence tried to merge the files and could not do it. The town of Amherst tried to merge the files and could not do it. So I reached out to Dave Brown, and Dave Brown was able to figure it out. So what I was being told...
It was Dave Brown's file.
Okay, right, but what I was being told was that there were possible errors in the spreadsheet, and Amherst and Clarence IDAs, again, this is what I'm being told, right? I can only answer to what I'm being told, right? So I was told that both, and this is, from what I gather is true, Amherst and Clarence could not figure out how to merge the files, okay? Because they felt there was errors in there, and they didn't want to merge them and mess them up. So that's what generated the response from me, was that we had files, because again, what I was told was that these files were unusable. It wasn't until we reached a point where we had to get these out, and I reached out to Dave Brown, who did not want to do it. He specifically told me I would help the new CFO when we hire one, but he did not want to deal with the pilot billing. That was something he didn't want to have to do. I pleaded with him and said, listen, Amherst couldn't do it, Clarence couldn't do it, can you help me here, right? So what I was responding to was the fact that we were given information that was unusable based on the experts that we had hired, or that we reached out to from Clarence and Amherst that had experience with pilot billing and were unable to figure it out. That's what generated that response.
Okay, but that was on February 11th. On February 11th, at that meeting, 30 minutes into the meeting, you stated that the previous secretary and CFO were not cooperating with Lida by turning over any information. Lida states that we did not give her any information, and when in fact all information was given to her. And this was prior to your January 28th letter, okay? You make
But again,
reference...
hold on one second. Again, turning over information that is usable.
It
versus
was
turning
usable,
over
sir.
Well, it obviously was with
Okay.
somebody else, but what we had at that time was, we were being told by the people that we were reaching out to that it was not complete information. So that's the reason for that.
Okay, but it was usable.
Well, it ultimately was, yes, when Dave.
And
Brown
all the
figured it out.
files that I sent to Ms. Braun, all the documents, everything that I sent her, the budgets,
Yeah.
budgets that he's now going to use, the financial statements, everything was on that file. There was multiple emails. So let me continue here. On February 11th at your meeting, 30 minutes in, you, again, go through that. You make reference to a resolution that the town board made at their February 7th meeting to direct us to give up the information. And you asked on that meeting that it was tabled, you had talked to Mr. Leary, et cetera, and only to find out that I was at that meeting. I told them that everything had been turned over to them. I also told them I had the emails to prove it. The next morning, I went to the office and I emailed every single email that I emailed to Lida, I emailed to the entire town board. I would have done that for this IDA board, but I did not have the email addresses, which I had asked for and never got a response to. So, let's see. On January 20th, I placed 3 boxes outside Mrs. Braun's door as her door was locked and she was on the phone. I went back to my office. I emailed her a letter stating that the 3 boxes were outside her door. She acknowledged that she received the 3 boxes. If she had opened the boxes and looked in the boxes, in each box, the files were labeled with a project and an SBL number. The other box contained deposit slips, a checkbook. It contained financial statements, budget reports, deposit slips, checkbook, etc. There was 3 different boxes. 2 of them were all the projects that you're currently working on, that you will need to bill for, and the other box was all of the other stuff, all the other files that had financial statements and checkbook and deposit slips and bank reconciliations. All of that was in a 3rd box. All that was given to her. And by her saying that she did not receive anything tells me that she never even looked in these boxes because everything was there. She just had to open them. Okay, and an hour and a half into the meeting on February 11th, Mrs. Braun states that I wasn't responding to emails. I have a stack of emails that go back and forth between myself and Lida, her asking questions, and in that meeting she also states that I told her that she's telling you guys, that I told her that the bills were done and that I wouldn't give them to her. Not true. I have an email that she asks me specifically, were you doing the pilot billings? And I emailed her, no, I am not. That is for next CFO to do. She knew this back in January. And on February 11th, she's making these statements. Now, I don't know if any of you board members are aware of any of this. By the looks on your faces, I'm guessing no. Okay? But all the information that she ever needed to conduct IDA business was given to her prior to January 28th when you sent that letter.
Okay?
Okay? On February 1st, Ms. Masiewski and myself took 2 additional boxes over to Mrs. Braun's office. Again, the door was locked and she was on the phone. She did acknowledge receipt of the boxes. These were paid receipts from years ago that were in a file that we honestly, I'll be completely honest, I totally forgot that they were even there till I went back and they were in a different office, and when I opened the door, I went, these are IDA files, and immediately boxed them up and got them over to her. They're paid receipts from back in 14, 15, 16. So they're not good for anything, they're not meaningful to anything, to do current day-to-day business for the IDA. Okay, I think one more item here. In the minutes of the February 11th revised, where it begins with the previous CFO and ending with the taxes paid late, I think needs to be deleted. It's a misstatement. The CFO and billing staff that is being referred to as myself and Ms. Masiewski, we have been cooperative. We've always left the door open. Lisa has never stepped in my office to ask for anything. But we have been to her door. We have extended every email as, if you need anything, let us know. We've never heard from her. We're not mind readers. We don't know what she's looking for. We don't know what she's asking for. We've given her everything. If she needs help finding something, we can do that. But we need to know. Okay? It's not like we're abandoning her and leaving her high and dry, because that's not the case. Okay, so let me switch hats here. I want to put my finance director hat on for a second and just say, I did not hear in the meeting today on the update on the pilot payments, how many of the pilot payments were or were not collected. I, as you know, scan in the checks for the town. I kept my own spreadsheet, so I know how much is county, how much is town, and so I know what I have to send to the county for their payment. There's currently four properties that have not paid an IDA bill. I have the list here if you'd like them, and there's 5 properties that have not paid the difference between their first and second bill. And as Lisa stated, that they've got those bills, they should have, and that was at the February 11th meeting, she said that on the tape, that they had gotten the second bills. So this is March 11th, they've had a month, they should have paid those fees.
Okay, so what do we do to follow up with those? What are we supposed to do with the ones that aren't paid?
Well, when I was CFO, I would have reached out and I would have sent them a second bill with the penalties on it.
Okay.
And on that bill state, that it has to be paid, and they get given a certain number of days.
Okay.
And
Mike,
that's
can you
what
look
they.
into this?
Mr. Chairman, may I interrupt, sir? What you can do is what I've done before is the other IDAs, they inform me of the companies that I have worked with that their pilot hasn't been paid. I make phone calls.
Okay.
And I ask them, why aren't you paying your pilot?
Okay.
I do that.
All right.
If I know that the pilots are not paid.
Okay. Can you forward that information to Lisa?
I have it already. I
You
have
do?
my own spreadsheet.
Okay, can you give that to Paul, please? Mm-hmm. And
I'll work with Lisa and get it done.
Okay,
But that is the CFO. That's not my
right,
job.
okay. So, Mike, you're gonna have to be included on this then, okay?
How about Mike? Isn't
Right.
Dave
Welcome, Mike.
Brown
If you need
doing
help,
the
Mike.
pilot stuff?
Well,
I'm a
Dave
phone
Brown
call.
helped out with the
Okay.
pilots,
My
right?
office is always
Right.
open if you want to come in. I will help you in any way that I can to get you up to speed. I would
Okay.
not, I did not get that courtesy, but I will give that courtesy to you.
We appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Pam.
Thank
And
you for your-
listen, I apologize for information I did not know and spoke out of turn. But I was, like I said, I was basing my letters and my information, and my correspondence on information that I had been given.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think the two that you should share that letter, our response letter, with the rest of the board. I don't know if you did that, but if you haven't, I think that you should, because I think they would be interested in reading it.
Okay, I will find it.
Pam, any help that you can offer to Mike will be greatly appreciated.
I extended that.
Thank
I will
you.
do what if you need to reach out. He knows where my office is.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Got my number?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anything else? Anyone else? No? Motion to adjourn?
You should ask for public comments.
Motion.
Ask for public comments.
I did. That
Okay,
wasn't
I'm sorry, I
public
didn't hear
comments.
you.
Okay. Motion by member Lee Master, second by,
Who has my check?
Second.
second by member McNichol.
Who?
Roll.
My-
Second was
Who has my
McNichol.
Member Gazzam?
Yes.
Member Lee Master?
Yes.
Member McNichol?
Yes.
Member Reno?
Yes.
Member Ruda?
Yes.
Member Tadaro?
Yes.
Chair Fadoli?
Yes. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, oh, listen, we have mine.